Welcome to the sports department. My name's Wayne Russell and we're going to be looking at a taster today on sports coaching, and here we go. So then guys, sports coaching then, so we're looking at what makes a successful coach. So in the next 35 seconds, can you jot down on your mind maps all the ingredients needed for a successful coach? Okay, and thank you. So yeah, George, can you kick us off then? What have you got for me that makes a successful coach?
Someone who's very motivational towards the peers, all the people that they're coaching, to allow them to get the best out of themselves and to make them play to the best of their ability.
Absolutely, yes. You haven't got that, write that down. Yes, so motivational. So they're not just there to know this stuff, they're there to push people and get the best and maximise their ability, their potential. That's a really good start. Yeah, Gabriella, what have you got for me?
Creativity to make the athletes engaged in the session.
Okay, what might creativity look like in a coaching session and to keep that engagement in place?
Something that can include everyone at different abilities. Such as a different level of a drill in netball to include everyone.
Okay, yeah, good. So instead of having a one-size-fits-all, you might have different levels, be creative with your session and everyone can get involved. Good. Archie?
Good communication with your athletes.
Okay, and why would you say that's so important, Archie?
So you get to know what the athletes are like feeling towards the sessions, if they're enjoying them, if they're not enjoying them, and how that can take it into a game situation.
Okay, so that's a good reason for doing it then. So how would you go about making sure communication was effective in your session?
Having one-on-ones with the players.
One-to-one, good. And what else if I push you even more? Because obviously communication is a big one for coaching. What else would good communication look like if you was maybe assessing a session?
Sessions.
Yeah, if you was watching a coach, how would you know the communication was where it should be? One-to-ones is a good one.
I like talking to players as they're going on with drills.
Okay, yeah, good. Anyone add to that? That's good. About communication, yeah.
Everyone else understanding, like doing what's exactly being told of them.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Ted. Yeah, so the one-to-ones, obviously communication is effective then if people can actually understand and the sessions run in and maybe they're not repeating themselves. Yeah, absolutely good. Lev, what have you got for me, please?
Being able to control the group. So if it gets out of hand, can you control it and get them back on track and stuff?
So almost like managing, controlling the group. Have you been involved in the group that's been a biggie where the coaches maybe lost control or gained control? How was that?
Yeah, well it was hard. They were just messing about, tried to get them on track, but in the end we did. So it can like impact a session if they're like messing about, but you got to get them back on track, you know what I mean?
So if I push you a bit further, what did the coach literally do? What methods did they employ to get that group back on track?
Punishment, so like if they're doing something wrong, get them to do like press ups or sit ups or something, or get them running. That'll get them back in the track and stuff. Okay,
yeah, good, yes, especially if you've got pre-agreed rules that if it's not going to work this way and the team buy into it, when control is lost in a session, it's a quick go-to. It's not where did that 10 press-ups come from, you know where you stand, you do them, and then you're back in tune. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Ted, can you add another one for me?
The basic knowledge of the sport.
Okay, so yeah, tell me more about knowledge.
So if they don't have a basic knowledge of like techniques and how to play the game, they can't coach it and allow the team or the athlete to like have the best opportunity of winning in a game situation. Okay,
yeah, good. So you mentioned there, obviously the skills of the sport. What other knowledge? That's a really important one. Technique. What other knowledge would you want your coach to have if you had a top coach?
Of how different people react to things, really. So say someone's more lazy in training, the knowledge of how to bring them to work harder in training so it didn't bring them to down.
Well, that's actually a really good one. It's almost like the psychology of behaviour where you might know all your skills and techniques inside out, but actually knowing the people in the group that might need an arm around the shoulder or a bit more of a drill in to get them going, which obviously you've got links there with obviously the motivational as well. So yeah, to someone else, what other knowledge would you expect a coach to have? So there's the skill, technical side of sport. Yeah, George?
You could have like tactic awareness, so tactic knowledge of the game. So for example in football, if you know something's not working properly or the team might maybe playing to the best of their ability, might like swap it, say take a midfielder off and put another one on, or maybe change the formation around which may benefit the team. So for example, you might see something in the other team that he thinks they can like make it work better for them, and you might maybe throw a striker on that he thinks will be able to get behind the defence and score a goal or make the game better for the team he's coaching.
Yeah, yeah, really good one. That. So obviously you've got that tactical knowledge, when to change things, what can work, your formations and things. And obviously that comes with experience and really knowing the game inside out, alongside, like you said, Ted, the skills and tactics. Okay, so good. So just to put another layer on it, I know some of you jotted this down, but could you, if you haven't done so already, could you jot down as many coaching styles that you can remember from your learning? So how many coaching styles can you remember?
Autocratic.
That's one, yes. That's a really good start. Actually, it's got you off to a flyer. So there's two there. What are the other two that we might go for? Okay, just give you 10 seconds for that one. Okay, thank you. Good one, actually. So you mentioned autocratic then. What do you understand by an autocratic leadership
Like someone
style?
that just does what they want in the session. They don't like include the performers to like have their opinions heard. That he just takes the session and does what he wants with the session.
Okay, good. So yeah, so he or she might just dictate this session.
Yeah.
Has that got its place? Has that got its place in autocratic style? So when then Ted would autocratic style where the leader makes all the decisions have its place?
Say if you know you've got say you've got a team coming up and you know how they play, and you know how you want to run the team, and based off like the different players' strengths, you would make decisions of how to train and what you want the team to play like. So you've got the best advantage of winning that game, instead of asking the rest of them how they want to play.
Okay, that's good. So knowing what you want and knowing a plan to get there. Can you add to that, George?
I think it's also like important, maybe if there's a final coming up or something like that. The team might be slightly nervous and want the coach to sort of take over and tell them how he wants them to play in that final, which I think can help because it like clears their mind almost in a way, so they can get down on the pitch, get down with the style he wants them to play, and it almost like clears their mind to go out there and play to the best of their ability.
Yeah, it's almost like taking that pressure off, that you trust your coach, he's got a plan in place, and if we follow that plan that the experts put in front of us, then it will be the case. When might an autocratic style fall down then? When might players not be on board when there's an autocratic style?
A younger age group.
Okay.
So if you're coaching children like rather than adults, children might not understand that if they have to do exactly what they're told, it will work. They might want to do what they want, and because it might be like more fun to them and not less about winning trophies and stuff like that, and more about having fun. Yeah,
I agree. So more flexible. They don't want to be told every time to touch, how many touches, where to run. A little bit more free. So that might be a situation where you'd adopt your coaching style. So that's autocratic. What's another coaching style? Yeah, Gabrielle, have you got one there?
Democratic.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about democratic.
Where like the coach takes other people's opinions into how they're going to structure what they're saying in the session. For example, like if a team was playing and they weren't doing the best. The coach needs to take into consideration like what they think they're wanting to do, instead of just saying this is what you're going to do even though it's not working. Okay, that's really, really good. So that's a really good definition. So yeah, Lev, when would be a good situation where a democratic style might be more preferable?
I don't know, but I think it's probably better for democratic because it makes them feel like they're a part of the group, like makes them feel involved. That might increase motivation. So a situation that you could use it in would be like if you're in a team talk at half time or something, and if they know something's not right, they can mention it to the coach and try and make things better.
Okay, yeah, good. So at half time, obviously it's a short time period, but 50 minutes, let's say in a sport like football, there is that chance to get input from the group instead of just thinking that your way or tactics in the second half would be. So if I mention the word time then, why might time dictate which style you go with? Yeah, George?
If you've only got a short amount of time within the whatever period you're in, the coach might sort of take over and say this is how I want you to play. Obviously he might listen to them and take into consideration what they think. I think it's more important that he sort of makes a decision in that time period, because there's not enough time to maybe go around the whole change room and talk about the different ideas and then come up with a certain situation that they want to play.
Absolutely, yeah. Player gets in, you'd 30 seconds to go. There's no team talk to be had. It's basically you need to make a decision on the spot and run with it. Pre-season, you come back together, lots of time, that's when you get your input, etc. What about size of the group? Why might size of the group dictate what you guys go off and plan in terms of your style, size of the group? Yep, Ted?
Smaller groups would make it easier to do democratic, because if there's there's a solo athlete or like two of them, they can say what they think would work for them. But if it's like a football team where you've got to start an 11, you've got the bench and everything, it's a lot larger, a lot more opinions, so you wouldn't, like, what opinion would you go with?
Yeah, exactly that. So you can get the bigger the group, obviously the army being the biggest, very much autocratic, we say you do, but smaller numbers, there might be more give and take. What about danger aspect then? You're going rock climbing, what do you want your leader to be going with? And you're a beginner, I'll chuck that in as well.
Yeah.
Why autocratic?
Because he's obviously got more knowledge than you of that area, and it's almost your safety's in their hands, so you just got to trust them and go with it.
Yeah.
Because if not, if you're trying to do your own thing by climbing up a mountain or something that's dangerous, the likelihood is that you're going to get injured or hurt yourself or something of that sort.
Well, that's it, innit? You might have an opinion on how you like your rope tied, but ultimately that could lead to a disaster. And then level of performer, this is an interesting one. This can be both ways. So say like a professional compared to a beginner, how might that differ, yeah, Lev?
For a lower level performer, you probably need autocratic because they'll need to know how to like manoeuvre like a technical ability, whereas an elite performer would probably use democratic because they already know how to like do the technical abilities, trying to master it very much, so they can get opinions off the coach, they give opinions to them as well.
Yeah, excellent knowledge, yeah. So you've got your top tennis player, I don't know, Roger Federer, might be a two-way conversation. Someone beginning their tennis needs to be almost told, structured the skill that they need to do. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for watching, joining us in this lesson taster. For more information, please visit the website for our resources, and hopefully we'll see you sometime in the future.